Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to my channel, Escape the Matrix. If you're new to my channel is all about escaping the 9 to 5 life and all the things I do in order to get there. So one of the things I do is I drive for Uber and Lyft in New York City. And today we're going to be talking about, can you still make money doing Uber Black only? I did Uber Black only for about 1 week just to see how it would be and if it's still something viable. And I did this a few months back, probably at the end of January. So I kind of want to break down exactly how much I made. I want to break down how many hours I worked. And then I kind of want to go over with you guys how it exactly was and if it's actually worth it. Overall in the week, I did about 45 rides, and that was in between both Uber and with Lyft. And then out of the 45 rides, 29 of the rides were on Uber, and out of those 29 rides on Uber, about 4 of them were regular rides and the rest were Uber Black rides. And then on Lyft, I did about 16 rides on Lyft, and out of the 16 rides on Lyft, about 7 of them were regular rides and the rest of them were Lyft Black rides. So out of the 45 rides, about 25% or 11 rides were normal rides and about 75% was all Uber Black and Lyft Black. So I did get super lucky. The first ride that I took of the week was a reservation. So I had that reservation and the reservation guaranteed me about $48 for that ride. And the actual ride itself was about 15 minutes. And then on top of that, the customer also tipped me $15 on top. So that ride ended up being $63, which was super solid for 15 minutes worth of driving. As you can see, on the same day, literally right after doing that ride, within another 10 minutes, I got another pickup, which wasn't as good because it was 25 minutes and I only made $26. The main thing was that I didn't have to sit around for too long and actually wait for another ride. I got a ride within 10 minutes of finishing up the other ride that I just finished. I don't know if you guys have noticed or not. So I pretty much finished that ride at 8:50 and I didn't get another ride until 9:20. It was about a 30-minute wait before I actually got the next ride. And then pretty much the next day I did something similar where I came to the city at about 8 o'clock and I had to wait about 40 minutes before I actually got the first ride. It was about a $45 ride, but it was also 40 minutes for the ride. So I want you guys to understand, if you are doing rides that are low in miles, but you're doing it for a long time, yes, it'll be about $1 a minute, but that's not too different than Uber X. I ended up finishing that ride at about 9:40. The next ride after that was at 10:16. So if you guys can do the math real quick, that was a 36-minute wait before I actually got the ride after. And that ride wasn't even really that worth it. It was only $19. And then for the following ride after that was another 20 something minutes to actually get a ride. As you can see, shortly after that, I probably got the best ride of the week right after that. That ride was really solid. As you can see, it was only 52 minutes, but for 52 minutes, I made about $97, so which was super solid. I'll just scroll through all my next trips. As you guys can see, it was majority Uber Black. And then when it comes to Lyft, Lyft was pretty much the same thing. But what I was actually doing, I was kind of implementing a strategy where if I saw that it was really, really slow, I would leave on Uber Black only and I would leave on Lyft with all options, but I wouldn't take every ride on Lyft. I would only take quick local rides so I can stay in a certain area so I can go and try to get Uber Black rides after that. Overall, the week ended up being a 37-hour week and we made about $1,281, but on Lyft, the way Lyft works is that they pretty much add your tolls onto the total that you make. So I subtracted the tolls, so we're actually at $1,261 for the week, and that was in 37 hours. Us making $1,261 in 37 hours means that I made $34.08 per hour driving only Uber Black in New York City. Let me tell you the differences pretty much, right? I only took 45 rides for the whole week. That was working those 37 hours split amongst 6 days. If I worked those same 6 days, I would probably make more if I left open all options and you know, sporadically I would probably get a Uber Black here and there, but it wouldn't be specifically Uber Black. The wait times would be a lot shorter, and I probably would have made more money. I probably would have made at least $4 more an hour. But the downside of doing that would be, on this week I pretty much only took 45 rides for the whole week, right? Versus, in order to make that same type of money, probably instead of $1,261, I could have probably made like $1,500. But instead of taking 45 rides, I probably would have been closer to taking 70 to 80 rides in order to make about $200 to $300 more. So when it comes to Uber Black, what you pretty much ultimately have to decide is that, are you willing to wait around in order to get rides? Or do you want to just be on the move and try to take as many rides as possible and make the most money as possible? Because you definitely will make a lot more money if you leave on all options rather than doing Uber Black only. But it's a matter of the quality of rides. You'll deal with a lot less people. Yes, you'll make slightly less money, but you're dealing with a lot less people and you're doing a lot less rides, and you're probably going to be driving a lot less miles. Ultimately, it really depends on what you're trying to do when you're at work. Do you want to take less rides and try to build up your private clientele with Uber Black customers and try to give them maybe your card or something in order to get those customers for yourself? Do you want to do it like that where you make less money? Because that's not a guarantee either, right? As far as getting someone to become a private client of yours, that's not a guarantee, right? So you're definitely going to make less money majority of the time if you're doing Uber Black only, versus if you are open to every single ride, you'll probably make a lot more money per hour than you do on Uber Black only. I would say if you're doing Uber Black only, you're probably going to make anywhere from $28 an hour to maybe like $34 an hour. Versus if you're doing Uber with all options on, you're probably going to be closer to $35 an hour to $45 an hour. So it really depends. Are you looking to just make as much money as possible, or are you looking to do less work and kind of take it easy while you're on the job? So it really depends what you're more comfortable with. Do you want to deal with less customers for less money, or do you want to deal with a whole bunch of more customers for slightly more money? So it really depends. What would you guys prefer to do? Me personally, I like kind of doing a combination of the two. Like, I'll probably leave on all the options whenever it's not super busy and just try to take whatever I can. But if I end up in a certain area and during that time it is rush hour and it is super busy at that time, then I'll take my chances and I'll leave on Uber Black for a little bit just to see if something hits. And if something doesn't hit, I'll go back to turning on all the options. It really depends on you, the type of person you are. Some people have a lot of patience and can wait around, and then some people can't wait around and just want rides back to back. So depending on your personality and depending on the type of person you are, you have to go with whatever is best for you and whatever is best for your style of working. But anyways, guys, I hope this video helped you guys. If you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, let me know in the comments. Make sure you guys smash that like button if this video did help you. And if you want a lot more great content about Uber and Lyft in New York City, and maybe even something that applies to your market, make sure you subscribe to the channel. And until next time, Escape the Matrix out.